because in some of the neighborhoods like you were talking about in Riverside and San Bernardino, you're able to buy a house for about $50,000. So there's some people out there that can just pull that cash off a credit card and get into this.
Would you talk a little bit about the partnerships? Just briefly, just real briefly.
Real briefly. So partnerships, a lot of the partnerships I've done have been people that have been wanting to get into real estate. So for example, if I had a really awesome deal that I wanted to rehab and flip, and the hairdresser came in and she had money, but she didn't know how to do anything, I could have partnered with her on that. Would that make your life easier if you were able to find the property, secure the property, and one of your cash buyers, you say, hey, I have this really great property. Here's an example. I was telling them about it. I just got a property on, is it Monday? I just got a property on Monday. I got it approved from the bank for $92,000. It needs at most $16,000. It literally needs no rehab. It's in perfect shape. It needs the bathroom redone, and it needs central heat and air put in. The kitchen's great, the house is great, the paint's great, the landscaping's great, the house is great. Why did so its after repair value is $180,000. It needs at most $16,000 in rehab, and I'm getting it for $92,000. I'm keeping that one for myself. And I'm partnering with somebody on that. Personally, I don't like my cash out there. So what I do is with a cash buyer, I say, well, if you'd like to invest in this really great opportunity with me, I'll manage the entire process, bring the contractors in. I've already secured the property. I've already done the statement for the property. And all you have to do is bring the cash in and we split it 50-50. So rather than making, on that one I could have made a $10,000 or $15,000 assignment fee, I can go and make a $30,000 rehab flip fee. Would that also be okay for you guys to start playing with?
And you're going in on the deed, both of you?
We both go in on the deed.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So let's go on to quality over quantity. Now we already kind of talked about that. We don't need a huge list, right? You already saw that you guys only need a couple people to work with. Now the biggest thing is working in integrity. First in line, first in time. Once you have an offer, so what's going to happen sometimes with you guys is you're going to get a property accepted. And you're not going to have, what's typically going to happen is these investors, but once in a while, there's going to be a week or two where you don't get calls from them. If you're not getting calls from them and you get a property in, who do you send it to? You send it to all of them, right? You got to be first in line, first in time. And so let me share with you what happened on this property. This is Pershing. I actually have been to this property. I'm going to share with you, wow, this is such a good deal. Take that back. So we pull up to this property. It had been on the MLS for 60 days. We couldn't figure out why it had been on the MLS. And a lot of people, if they've been on the MLS at one time, they won't even write up the offer. I look at everything. So we pull up to the property. Before we even get out of the car, it smelled like shit.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. It smelled like duff. And as we got closer to the house, it smelled stronger. And we go into the house. Now this property, I think it was listed on the MLS for like $58,000. And the front house, the house was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It was probably like 1,300 square feet. So $58,000 in that neighborhood is a really good price. I didn't know why it wasn't being, nobody had written any offers, and I pulled up, and then I had an idea why. Now this is in Southern California, in the city of San Bernardino, and it was last summer, so it was probably like 110. And it had been foreclosed, so all the windows and doors had been closed, and we opened it, and the people were apparently a little pissed off because there was shit everywhere. It was on the carpet, it was on the walls, it was everywhere. It was like the toilet, we had to replace the toilets. There was no like plunging the toilets, it's like now, it was the No, there was no shit in the backyard. It was in the house. I found another house. I found a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, completely unpermitted house that was about 900 square feet.
Jeez, 900 square feet?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So now I had 2 houses on one lot that nobody would look at because it smelled so bad. And I'm sick and twisted, and I don't know, I ran through there. So I called the agent, and I said, yeah, I was just, I just went through your property on Pershing, and I was, curious as to why you don't have any offers or what's going on with it. I'm trying to get a feel of if I can come down, though, because I already know that $58,000 is a good price, but if I can make more money on it, I will. And so she's like, yeah, the house smells like shit, nobody will look through it. I said, so if I send you an offer for $52,000, can we make that work? And she goes, I will make it work. So we wrote up our offer for $52,000. Now, I didn't have anybody attacking me at the time for deals, so I sent it out to several investors. Within a minute, I had somebody responded back, yes, I'll take it. Awesome. Then another minute later, somebody responded back, yes, I'll take it. And I'm like, so then I had to text him, I'm sorry you were too slow. And he's like, I responded within 2 minutes. And I'm like, somebody responded within a minute. Okay. That is really beneficial for 2 reasons. Do you think when I send them a text, they're doing this? Yes, yes, Lindsey, yes, Lindsey, I take it, right? Does that make your life and your business really easy? When people are, it's like I'm training them to say yes because it's going to be gone, okay? The next thing is so my deals are important, you got to respond quickly. And so then I said, I'm sorry, somebody else took it. And he goes, I'll give you $5,000 more. Okay. So then I go, so that he had called me at this point because he was freaking out. He hadn't bought a house in 3 months and he wanted to be doing 5 houses a month. So he was freaking out. He was a newer investor that I was working with. He was newer to me. And so he goes, I'll give you $5,000. And I go, well, I can't just, I already promised it to somebody else, but my word is my value. I give everybody 24 hours to make the inspections on the property and give me the cash to close it. So let me call him. What I can do is I can offer him to split the $5,000, but I don't know how badly he wants the property, so give me 5 minutes. So I call him, and I have to play with him a little, right? So I call the first guy and I go, okay, so we kind of have a dilemma. Literally a minute after you called, one of my other investors called and said they would give me $5,000 more for you, more than you. And there's just silence. And I know he was thinking, this bitch is going to screw me. And he goes, And I go, so we have 2 options. You can take the property and do what you want with it. Or we can split the $5,000. You can make $2,500, I can make $2,500, and then you did nothing. And he goes, so I get $2,500 in 5 minutes? We're doing nothing. And I go, And he goes, I will do that on one condition, that I get the next deal. So that's what we did. So, do you think both investors were happy?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think both of those investors want to work with me again and again and again? Because I don't have anything in writing with them. And I did the right thing, right? You guys all operate the same exact way, and you guys can do this too, yes?
Yep.
So on this one, I was able to make $18,000. The guy who ended up getting it, the reason he wanted it is he doesn't flip them. For instant resale, he holds onto them for cash flow. So he bought this for, I don't know what he paid for it. What's that, 70 grand? So he paid 70 grand. He had 2 houses on one lot. He put, I think it was somewhere around 15 grand into them. So he had $85,000 into 2 houses on one lot. I think he rents them, like, combined for about $1,600 a month. Is that good cash flow? So he did a really good thing, right? And everybody's happy. So that was a great deal. Here's another one. You guys are going to like this. So I told you that you guys are going to have people calling you before you even have deals. I have money burning a hole in my pocket. Can you get me a deal? Can you get me a deal? So this one I literally had sold before I even had $81,900. We offered 90, and so we made a $2,700 profit. So this one we paid over list price. It was priced below market value again. This was actually 3 houses. Well, it was 4 houses on one lot, but you can't really see it. The garages here were living quarters, and to say they were unpermitted would be like the nicest way to possibly put it. So they needed to be converted back, but otherwise it was 3 units on one lot. So $90,000. It was in really bad condition. The pictures actually make it look better than it was. So we paid $90 and made $2,700. I essentially had that sold before I even had the approval from the bank. He was calling me, Lindsay, I really need a deal. Do you have anything? I don't have anything right now, but I'm hearing that we're going to be getting close on this property, and I give him the specs. Of course, I don't give him the address, but I tell him the specs, and he goes, I will take it. Let me know when you have it. So I had it sold before I even had complete approval. Would you guys be okay with making $2,700? Again, that was probably about an hour's worth of work. Would that be okay?
Yes.
So the 5th step is assigning the deal. So you had asked about how I take title. So in this, you want to make it as easy as possible. I just use one sheet of paper that my attorney drafted up for me, and I have all that in the book. There's just so much information I can't share with you guys in one day, or in, what, an hour and a half? So that's why I actually put together 3 days with me. I would love to have you guys there. But in assigning the deal, you need to be open and honest. You need to disclose your profit, your building report, because you're creating repeat business. These are people you're going to be working with for literally years. One of the cash buyers that I originally picked up about 3 years ago when I first started doing this has become one of my best friends. He lives in La Jolla, and I pretty much see him every week. We do tons of business together. He owns a financial company and other stuff. Would you guys be okay, like, opening your circle of influence to people that are very affluent? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Because you're working with them on a consistent basis, you actually become really good friends. And that's the other thing I'd like to get into when you're working with cash buyers. Whether you do a marketing campaign or you're going to auctions, work with people that you like and you want to work with. Work with people that you would want to hang out with. We're all very different, and we all have different histories and backgrounds, and if you try and work with somebody that's very different from you, you guys are going to butt heads. And this is about making it easy. So you want to be able to have fun conversations and get together and do stuff with people. So find people that when you talk to on the phone, they're gonna call you like they call me. I don't take everybody that calls me that wants deals. I take the people that sound easy, that sound nice, that sound like they have a lot of money, and that can make my life really easy, and I can make their life really easy. So this is your business, and you're interviewing them, and you're picking who you want to work with. So, in assigning the deal, there's a couple different ways I do it, and you guys are going to want to write this down. I always do it in an entity. I never do it in my personal name. So, if you're going to do it in an entity, for example, you could say ABC Enterprises. I'm ABC Enterprises. So, I write up my offers in ABC Enterprises. But, I'm reselling them to 123 LLC. So once we get the approval from the bank, I'm going to talk to Joe, and Joe wants the property, and he's 123 LLC, and I have Joe sign my assignment contract because I own and control the rights to this property, and I'm not going to put him on title or give him any rights until we've agreed on the assignment fee. Once I get that signed from him, it takes about 5 minutes, then I contact my agent, and I say we need to do an addendum. And the addendum just simply states, buyer previously referred to as ABC Enterprises will now be referred to as 123 LLC. So therefore, it takes over all the positions automatically in the contracts and the agreements already written, and from the contracts written thereafter, there are